Okay, this is the last video for 1301 Lab 1. We're going to talk about properties of sound. So as you can see on page 6, we're talking about frequency and period. So frequency is the number of cycles per second, and it's measured in hertz. And the frequency of 1 hertz means we've completed 1 cycle each second. So for example, a frequency of 250 hertz means that we completed a cycle, 250 cycles in a second. We also talk about time or period, and it's the amount of time it takes to complete 1 cycle. So the base value is in seconds. A period of 2 seconds means that it takes 2 seconds to complete 1 cycle. And these are the equations that we're going to be using because this is how they're related to each other. So when we do the math, we want to insert the information we know into the equation, into the equation we have, because the symbol on the other side of the equal sign is what we're trying to find out. So in the example, we know that we have 2000 hertz, which is the frequency. So we're inserting it into this equation because we want to find out the time. And in example 2, we have the time, and so we want to use this equation because we know what the time is. And we are trying to find out the frequency. So in the first problem set, we're converting frequency to time. So we have 1000 hertz that we need to convert to time. So we know the frequency, which means we're going to use this equation. So we want to know the time, and we know that it's equal to 1 over frequency. So we insert our numbers. Time equals 1 over 1000. So we just do that math. 1 divided by 1000, which equals 0.001. Then we want to convert that to scientific notation. And we're moving our decimal point over 1, 2, 3 places to the right. So our answer is 1 times 10 to the negative third. Next, we're converting time to frequency. This one's a little bit more complicated. As you can see, this hint down here, convert from milliseconds to seconds, because time is measured in seconds, but in our problem set, our time is measured in milliseconds. So first we have to convert to seconds. So if we go back up to page 4 and 5, we know that milliseconds is 10 to the negative 3. And since we're converting from a smaller unit to a larger unit, milliseconds to seconds, we're going to divide the number. And remember, we're dividing the absolute number. So we're dividing 10 to the power of 3. So first, we are converting 1.5 milliseconds into seconds by dividing 10 to the power of 3, which is equivalent to 1.5 milliseconds divided by 1000, which is equal to 0.00515 seconds. Now we're going to insert our time into our equation. We want to find out frequency, we have time, so we're using this equation. So frequency equals 1 over time. Let's put our numbers into those frequency equals 1 over 0.0015, and we do that math, which comes out to 666.666 repeated. So we get to 667. And now we want to put that in scientific notation. We move our decimal point over 1, 2 to the left, and we end up with 6.67 because we're rounding, times 10 to the power of 2. Let me know if you have any questions. You can email me or come to my office hours.